Why Can't I Do Music Good is filmed in front of a live Twitch audience. If you would like to be part of that audience, please follow us at twitch.tv/oddhobs. That is twitch.tv/ODDHOBBS. And then you'll be notified as to when we go live. You can get involved in the discussion. Now, without further ado, on with the episode.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, the 13th of May in the year 2021. My name is Lawrence Hobbs.
My name is Theo Dehaney.
And this is Why Can't I Do Music Good? It's a show where we talk about music, making music, why we're rubbish at making music, and what we're trying to do about it. And after many technical issues this episode, we are here, we are live, we are ready to rock and roll. How are you, Theo?
I'm all right, and can I say I'm impressed. I think that's the most smoothly you've done the intro since we started.
In 19 episodes, it's the first time I haven't, almost, I don't think I deliberately screw it
Most
up.
Most
rolled off the tongue? Yes, yeah.
No, I'm sure.
Sorry, say that again, dude.
I said I'm sure that you don't deliberately do it wrong. I think we've got quite a lot of lag going on right now.
We might have quite a lot of lag going on. We've got some real technical issues going on at the moment. For those of you who are listening to the audio episode of our of the podcast, or for those of you who are watching the YouTube version, we're streaming at a different time today. Normally we would stream between about midday and 3 o'clock, and today, because of the fact that due to some work obligations, I had to be busy during the day, but I am free in the evening, so we decided to use this as an opportunity to sort of test out the idea of streaming later in the day and seeing what sort of good or bad stuff comes of it. It seems like it's been mostly bad so
far, yeah.
because everyone's using their internet. Everyone is using the internet, and so our internet is not strong enough to punch through that internet wall and go, hey, come look at us and watch us talk about music.
There's just not enough internet.
There's just not enough of it. Get some more out of your pockets. Turn the internet upside down.
Run to the shops and get me some internet.
Anything else?
With bags of internet.
Get me an internet and a cornetto. Get me a corninterneto. Nice. But there is some advantages to streaming this late. It means that I don't have to drive this evening, which means that we're on the beers. Beers, my friend.
What are you drinking?
What am I drinking? So I don't know. Like I said this earlier on, but I'm the sort of person that I know what I like. I do like beer a lot. I'm a big beer fan, especially craft beers. But sometimes sometimes I really like to go down the cheap end of stuff. So I went to my local supermarket and bought the cheapest multi-pack of beer I could find. So I'm drinking. This is not a bad beer, actually. I'm drinking a Marston's Pedigree. It's 4.5%. It's an amber ale. It's bottle conditioned, which means that they care about shipping out of the door more than they care about the actual taste of the beer. But it's like when you play a game and it's a glitch, but they say it's a feature. It's conditioned in the bottle because we didn't have time to get it conditioned in the cask.
It's like, you know what? I was given for my birthday. My girlfriend gave me a plastic potted plant.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, sweet. This is nice. Like, it's an orchid that will never die.
Yep.
And on the box, it said easy care.
Nice.
And it just cracked me all the way up. I thought you should fucking well hope so. Like, if you can't keep a plastic plant alive, then you don't...
That's brilliant. Oh, there's something else that happened recently that I can't remember what it is, and I don't know why I'm mentioning it, because I'm hoping that in the time that I can talk about me not remembering it, I will remember it, but it's not going to happen. So we're going to end that thought right there. Anyway, let's do a little cheers, because this is I'm gonna hold on. Here we go. Ready? What are you drinking, my friend? I forgot to ask you.
I got me a Goose IPA right here.
Nice, Goose Island. Excellent beer.
Yeah,
Excellent beer.
it's actually, yeah, because you know what? I got this. I got a crate of this and a crate of Goose 312, which is
Is
a
that the
wheat
yellow?
beer.
Is that the yellow one? The yellow can.
Mm.
Mm. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of. I'm a big fan of Goose. I don't drink enough of it, but I'm a big fan of it. Do you find that drinking or being under the influence helps or hinders your creative process?
You know what? I don't drink very often, and
Okay.
when I do, I don't know. When I do, it's normally like at the end of my day when
Mm.
I've done everything that I need to do, or else if I'm out, we met up a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like if we'd been so if we'd sort of met up in the evening, then I would have had a couple, and then I would have just sort of gone, no, that's my evening now. So I don't know. I guess I'll just have to knock one back one morning and see what happens.
um, for me, there's
Thanks for the suggestion. Drink irresponsibly. That's my takeaway
yeah.
from that.
Wake up, down a bottle of anything, not a bottle of anything. No, down a bottle of beer, and then immediately get the guitar out, as you do. Joel in the chat says, yeah, that's. I forgot to mention that if you are in the chat today, hello everybody. We have a live chat that oh god, we have a live chat that joins us for the pre-show and the post-show. If you would like to be part of that live chat, please follow us at twitch.tv/oddhobs. If you would like to see the video version of the episode that you're listening to right now, then go to YouTube, search for Why Can't I Do Music Good, and you can see us in all our digital glory. I saved some time while you're reconnecting. Did you see how smooth that was? I don't know if you noticed it because you weren't here, but
No, what happened?
you disconnected and then I started talking about the Twitch chat. Hello, Twitch chat.
Oh no, I was here the whole time. But well done.
So smooth, so
No.
smooth. Oh god. So, should we? So we got a little bit of a different format going on. Like I said, we've been neglecting the whole "Why can't I do music good" part of the show, for a little while. And seeing as we're on to actually being a podcast now, we need to bring that back. So we are going to be talking about some of the things that mean that we can't do music good at the moment. But it does mean we're also bringing forward the part of the show, one of my favourite parts of the show, which is songs we can't get enough of. So Theo, would you like to intro this part of the show?
Yeah. So, this is songs we can't get enough of. Lawrence and I have a varied taste in music, and every week we're covering songs that we just can't get enough of for some reason. Maybe we like the lyrics, maybe we like the production or the message of the song, but whatever, we can't get enough of it. And we put it into a playlist every week. It will have been updated already if Lawrence can be consistent.
Yeah, yes, it has been updated. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, so you can go and listen to that on Spotify. It's called "Why Can't I Do Music Good? Songs We Can't Get Enough of." And so you can listen along to the songs that we've talked about before. But when we start talking about this song, you can start listening to it right now, so you know what we're talking about.
Mhm.
Because I think it's a real shame that we can't play music. We can't play the songs that we're talking about on here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think this is the next best thing. So like, bring it up.
Yeah, and what we're actually doing from now on is that rather than both bringing some music, it will be that one of us brings the music, and the other one brings the sort of the musical hurdle that we're trying to get over, because the show is shorter than it used to be. It used to be 3 hours. Now it's getting cut down to an hour with the post show afterwards. So yeah, Theo. So what song have you brought for us this week?
Okay, so it's actually a Jeff Buckley cover of a Nina Simone song. Have you lost me again?
No, I've just added the wrong song to the playlist.
What? What did you add?
I added the Nina Simone song.
Okay, no, keep the Nina. No, put the Jeff Buckley one on. Put the Jeff Buckley one on.
Okay, I'll sort it out now. Sorry, peeps.
Post taste.
Huh?
Faster, boy.
And you want the live one, yeah?
I think that's the only one there is.
Yeah. Sorry.
So this is right. We know that there's some love for Nina Simone and Jeff Buckley.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the chat, but somewhere. We know.
Hey, everyone loves Nina Simone.
I mean, yeah.
Now that song is on the playlist and it's at the top. We've got like 6 people that are following the playlist at the moment, which is more than I expect to. Sorry, say that again?
That's sweet. Have we?
Yes.
That's cool.
Sorry. I actually had to get rid of the thumbnail for the playlist, because I realised it's, now that the podcast is up, it's too confusing to have 2 of the same thumbnail. Because as far as where the words get cut off, they both just say, "Why can't I do ...
Oh yeah.
So I've gotten rid of the thumbnail for the playlist, but so that's just so that people don't accidentally follow the playlist instead of the podcast.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry. Now Jeff Buckley is on that playlist. I have changed it.
Okay.
Nina Simone is no longer on that playlist. The Jeff Buckley one is.
All right. So I'll just talk about why I'm sort of wanting the Jeff Buckley version on there rather than the Nina Simone.
Yep.
I don't drink very often. But that's still 95% full. Nina Simone wrote a song called "Be My Husband," which is a woman talking to her man, basically begging him to be a decent person. So it's like, if you promise that you'll be my man and that you'll look after me, then I'll look after you. I'll cook and sew. I'll be the best wife that you could ever want.
Yeah.
So it's basically saying, look, I will be the best wife that you could ever want as long as you'll just be a decent husband to me. And it's unfortunately, like, it's a reflection of the time that Nina Simone was in, where a man can expect to have his dinner on the table and the house clean when he gets home, but a woman can't necessarily expect her husband to be faithful to him. And so that's the song that it was. But the first I ever heard of this song was actually the Jeff Buckley version,
right?
Which he did at Cine. I think it was in 1994.
Yeah, that's the year
and it's
I've
a rendition.
got.
Yeah. It's a rendition called "Be Your Husband," which is the same song, but instead of it being for a woman begging her man to just be just to be nice to him, to be nice to her. Sorry, it's a man begging his woman to, stay away from Johnny Lee, just stop running around with other men. Just treat me nice. Like, I'll cook and sew if you want me to. Like, exactly the same. And the reason that I like it, I mean, the lyrics themselves, it's really simple. But like the song itself, Nina Simone's is very simple. Jeff Buckley's is even simpler. It's a 4 to the floor with a clap.
Yeah.
At the end. and is massively simple. It doesn't do any more than it needs to do. But I like Buckley's version because of the girl power. I
Okay.
think we were talking a few weeks ago about how about how I love girl power in a song.
Yeah.
So like so for example, Don't Call Me Baby. It's
Yeah.
just this whole thing. Don't call me baby. I don't belong to you.
Mm.
Like, don't underestimate me, boy. I'll make you sorry you were born.
We tried to
Basically, any
cover that
song with
song, didn't we?
yeah, we did. We did like a ska
Yeah, and it
ska
was really good. And
cover.
we did it from the opposite point of view of somebody. It was a bit sort of white knighty and a bit sort of virtue
Yeah,
singly,
I remember.
but
Yeah,
we did a version that was somebody watching as somebody else was being sort
yeah.
of talked
So
down to because they're a woman and are saying, "Hey, don't call her baby." But then I realize now in my
you've got some nerve, and buddy, that'll never do.
yes. You got some nerve, buddy. That'll never do. It was such a good cover.
She don't
The
belong
issue,
to you.
like looking back on it though, I realized that the cover of it was very much sort of it misses the point of the song of a woman like standing up for herself. That she doesn't
Yeah,
need a
it sort
man
of
to
does.
stand up for herself. So the fact that I changed it to be a man standing up for her really undermines the song, and I'm really
Don't
sorry
tell
about
him
that.
not to call me baby.
I'm glad we didn't end up making that as a track because that
Yeah.
could have been a massive creative misstep.
Yeah, like imagine if we became big names and then like 4 years away from our final massive album and retirement, like you've got a big old grey beard and somebody's like, oh well, back in the tens. Lawrence
Oh.
Arms recorded this song, which is a clear appropriation of the female struggle.
And to be honest, I'm not surprised that I did that. Like looking back at myself back then, oh man, I was such a nice guy. Like hashtag nice guy. That's the sort of
Yes.
guy I was. I tell you what, I really like grew an affinity with the Nina Simone version, and I did like I really wasn't expecting from Nina Simone to have an "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" style bluesy sort of number. Um, and I love how everything is just soaked in delay. It's
Mhm.
it's just an awesome
Yeah,
reminder
the
of
clap
like
is like,
yeah, it just goes on forever.
keeps going.
And it's just this awesome reminder of like the advantages that we have nowadays in tech.
Mm.
Um, and some of the notes that she jumps between are just massive, and Jeff does them as well, but
Yeah.
he does it even better because she like so Nina Simone hits those notes, but Jeff Buckley hits those notes and changes his dynamic delivery of that high note. So he belts the high note,
Mm.
he whispers the high note, he speaks the high note. That's difficult, man.
Mm.
That's really difficult. I can't do that. I can't
Jeff
do that.
Buckley is a machine. He
Mm.
was fantastic.
Mm. And just I wanted to put. There's one thing that really interested me is that I wanted to. The year that this was released, I want to put into context. Okay, so this was released in 1965, which you might think, okay, yeah, a blues song in 1965 seems about right, but actually, it's not where you'd find a lot of that music because this is the same year that the Rolling Stones released "I Can't Get No Satisfaction." It's the same year the Temptations released "My Girl," and it's the same year the Beatles released "Help." So even back then, this song was a throwback.
Mm.
Um, but contrary to that, Joe Muggs of at the time he was writing for Noisy magazine, but Noisy turned into Vice magazine.
Okay.
He said this, as the title suggests, is essentially a blues album. He reviews the whole album, but it's the blues as high science. In an era when the Stones and all who followed had codified it into pop music, romanticizing or fetishizing its poor rural roots with a kind of musical raggedness, Simone made it hyper modern, even futuristic. So Simone made it hyper modern, even futuristic. This is the blues as both urban and urbane, delivered with full knowledge of and passion for its history, and with all the guts and power that white rockers could ever muster, but with all the finesse, sophistication, and abstraction that her Juilliard classical training to bring to bear on it. That is an incredible description, and
That's a great review.
it's
Yeah.
such a good review. Um, and yeah, like you, I really enjoyed the sort of interesting nature of the swap genders and the language that he used to swap those genders. Like it didn't feel like what I did with that song. It didn't feel like it was white knighting. It did a service to the song. So yeah, yeah,
And it's just like it's just as simple as that. Like aside from it being a really great song, sung by a really great singer, and then covered by another really great singer.
Mm.
It's yeah, just the contrast of it. I just think it's so great, man. And yeah, again, I don't have a lot more to say.
it's fine that you don't have a lot more to say. Do you? Yeah, so that's an excellent choice of song to bring to the playlist, man.
Thank you.
It's a great song. Um,
Cool.
so what have we got
Shall
for?
we move on to?
Yeah, you intro it. Go for it.
Okay, well, so this is another part of the show. A bit of a contrast. This is songs we can't get. Well, no, sorry, that's
We don't
it
normally
used to be
intro
called-
this bit, to be fair, but we just go
Yeah, no.
and on the other side. So sorry, I
It's
just kind of
called-
threw that into you a little bit.
It's called songs that didn't get enough love,
Mhm.
and we talk about a song that's caught our ear that for some reason we don't think has received attention in the right places or enough attention, basically. And my pick this week is Closer by the Chainsmokers featuring Halsey. Now, Lawrence, when this was my pick, you were like, I really like that song.
Yeah, I do.
So,
I do. It will be interesting, and I do really like this song. But I think that you and I, when we were discussing this in the pre-show, you and I did identify there's a part of the song that isn't bad, and that's actually the bit of the song that I really like. But so I'm gonna let you start off, and I might feel the need to interject, but I probably won't. I'm just gonna, because there are some things that you're going to talk about that I think you're going to have some really valid points on, and I try to do some like research into the things that I feel like you're going to talk about. So let's try it out. Let's try it out.
well, you know what? Like, I could only go. Basically, I decided like going into the song when I thought, right, Lawrence, this is the song that I'm picking this week. I started listening to it, knowing like having already decided that I wasn't going to pay much attention to the lyrics because I figured I wasn't going to like them, and in this genre of music, lyrics aren't particularly important as a general anyway. And yeah, so as I listened to the song, basically I realized that the lyrics were actually not at all bad, and a fair amount of them I quite liked. But the reason that I noticed that was because there is nothing else going on in the whole rest of the track.
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah. No, carry on. No, I'm going to come in at the end. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, okay. Well, effectively, it is three chords, one passing chord up to another, and then that same chord passing down to the root. I believe that's from what I can hear. Bum 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 bum
Yeah,
bum.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
So yeah, and you know,
Yep.
well, it's quite a sparse track, which again, like nothing necessarily wrong with it. But as soon as it gets to the pre-chorus, or Yeah, I think it's pre-chorus.
The bit where it's like,
Um,
that bit.
maybe the chorus then. Well, it's effectively basically the main synth line and the chorus. Yeah, I'm talking about the chorus.
Yep.
The main synth line and the chorus are exactly the same, and they are both. They're just so simplistic, and so. I really feel that it was lazily done. I
Yeah.
really think that if you've got the audience, if you've got so many people listening to your music, like stick an arpeggiator on it at the very fucking least. That takes almost no effort, but it sounds like you put effort in.
It's worse than you think, man. It's worse than you think because this isn't just a feature of this song.
Well, no,
It's a feature of every single Chainsmokers song.
exactly. Well, this is what I was going to say. This is what I was going to say. I was like, I was going to say, right, I want to, because you said if we're going to bring a song in to shit on, we need to suggest a way to improve it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so it's like, I'll listen to their other song. That was their top most listened to song on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I listened to the top 5. And yeah, so the second one, the number 2, which I don't even remember what it was, but
Probably
dude,
Paris
they
or
took
something.
the
Yeah.
maybe I don't
Maybe.
know, man.
Well, it doesn't
But
matter.
they took the chord progression of Closer. They just transposed it down a whole tone.
Yep.
It's the same, dude.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
the
it is.
same.
It is.
And the formula is the same. Like they make the same mixing decisions and the same production decisions in the same places. They use the same effects on the vocals. They same the same fucking ga 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 ga
Yeah.
in the pre-chorus. It's fucking identical.
It is.
And it's like if you're just gonna write the one thing over and over again, just stop. Just don't. Just like you don't want to be a musician if you don't want to write music.
So yeah, I mean, you and I have like it seems that you and I have a closer alignment over what is good and rubbish about this song than we initially anticipated when you first suggested it. So musically, yeah, super lazy. In general, the band is super lazy. So yeah, for a number of years, all the music has followed the same chord progression. Um, I am going to talk about the lyrics a little bit. I don't think we need to go into them because
Yeah.
but there's okay. So I have a soft spot for the lyrics, because it does something that a lot of EDM songs don't do, and the lyrics remind me of some of the music I really like. So the bits I like is there's very specific references to like bands and brands and cities and situations. And it reminds me a lot of like Motion City Soundtrack and Menzingers or Gym Class Heroes. Like just it's just that like late noughties lyrical vibe.
Right.
Really good example. The mattress that you stole from your roommate back in Boulder. Like that's a great lyric. I know that people shit on that lyric,
Yeah.
but that's a great lyric. Or like that talking about singing that Blink-182 song to the point of ad nauseum. Like it might just be the chorus, but still. And I looked a bit further into what people have said about it, because what you're saying about Chainsmokers is not a secret at all. It's been commented on a lot, so I wanted to do a little bit more of a deep dive into how they sort of have marketed their music and what they're doing. And I found this blog post by I can't pronounce it. It's Tehama Group in 2017, and it encapsulates perfectly what I've realized about this track. And it says that the Chainsmokers may not know this, but they are successful public relations professionals. PR often entails social media and press releases. However, this DJ duo uses their music equation as their own personal form of PR. A commonly heard complaint about these artists is that all their songs sound the same. And here's the catch: they do that on purpose. Um, the Chainsmokers' first ever live performance and popularity breakthrough was their ever so trendy and ever so hated on single #Selfie, which is an awful, awful song where it's just this very typical EDM. And it's probably the only song where they don't do the same chord progression, and it's just them with the sample of "Let me take a selfie." It was released in 2013.
that one.
Yeah, that one. So it's the person compares it to Friday with it being catchy but fun to mock. So although the most popularly used beats per minute for top hits is 120 BPM, all of the tracks that the Chainsmokers do are within a slower range of 80 to 100 BPM, which is matching of our resting heart rates, which makes the songs easier to listen to. It doesn't get us too excited or too sort of depressed because it's
biologically boring. They've made it biologically boring.
I'm going to say it biologically syncs up. We sing along with the vocals effortlessly because they only use notes that are within our speaking range. And I don't mean that as in they only use notes within the whole key scale. I mean they use notes within the octave of our speaking range. Like they only pick notes that we can speak in, which is why they're so easy to sing. It's almost genius, but yes, I totally get why you could absolutely hate this song. I really like it because the lyrics really grab me. But yes, I totally understand that. It's just the same.
It's like,
yeah.
I mean, it does make more sense that they made it deliberately boring.
Yeah.
Because like the production itself, basically nothing wrong with it apart from the fact that it's boring. But you know, they're not bad producers.
No.
They could easily, if they wanted to, make a synth line that wasn't 3 fucking notes.
And they have started to do that more with their stuff, mainly because they've kind of been forced into it because they've been asked to write some music for
there are only
so
many combinations of 4 notes that you can.
Well, yeah, but also they've been asked to write some music for movies, and you can't hide behind that shit when you're writing a film score. Like you cannot hide behind that shit. So yeah.
Why have they even been asked to write the music though?
Probably because for the same, like they've just been given everyone gets given the chance if you're that popular when you comes to EDM, like computer music, to do that. And like it's worked for some people.
Surely your discography is your portfolio with something like that.
Well, there's some
surely
outliers.
That should be decided based on the type of music that you make.
Yeah, but I'm saying that there are outliers that it was worked for. So like Trent Reznor, 9 Inch Nails, completely not the sort of music you would expect to be accompanying romantic pieces. But he last year won an Academy Award for his music when he wrote the music for Soul, a Disney movie.
But yeah, my question is though, did that music for Soul come completely out of nowhere? Did they ask him to make the music for Soul without having heard anything other than 9 Inch Nails?
No, it would have been his other film music that they would have referenced as well.
Right,
but he got that film music.
So what have the Chainsmokers done?
Well, he had to have his first shot, didn't he?
Huh?
He had to have his first shot, didn't he? Like his first shot doing film music. Like at the time when he did his first film score, all he had was 9 Inch Nails and his solo stuff.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well,
what was his solo stuff about?
Like 9 Inch Nails.
Okay, never mind.
Probably even darker than 9 Inch Nails. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess so.
Or maybe that's the exception that proves the rule. I don't know.
I just think like it's not like nothing. It's nothing about the Chainsmokers. It's more about whoever it was that thought, let's get the Chainsmokers to write music for our film.
Mm.
Like that sounds like a good idea.
Mm. Well,
Like if
we'll see
you
how it
can't,
goes.
you
It might
can't,
be awful.
you can't build an hour and a half feature length film on 3 notes.
No, you cannot.
I
No,
love to
this is
see
why.
it being
This is
attempted.
why I'm saying. This is why I'm saying they're not going to be able to hide behind it. So,
Yeah,
it's going to
but
be
this is
interesting.
this is why I'm saying it doesn't even make sense that somebody would give them the chance to do it.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think we've both put across very valid points. I'm not going to shoot down your point at all because you are producing a valid point, and I feel that my point is valid as well.
I think so.
I think that that's a good place to sort of draw the line there
Before somebody gets cross.
before someone gets bothered. The filmmakers would be gods if they did it, or they would be just worms of the earth. It'd be one or two. It definitely wouldn't be in between, though. Mr. Jolly is right. Right, so going from famous people who can't do music good to us who can't do music good. So yeah, this is the whole point of the show. Really, we talk about our struggles as creative musicians, and we try and help each other get past them. And so I was talking about how this week I've had some work commitments, and the struggle that I have had is that I can't do my music very well at the moment because I am now going from having all the free time in the world to having so little free time to be able to do my music. Now, thankfully, I'm in the stage where it's just mixing and mastering. That isn't as time consuming as writing. But I was wondering, Theo, like you've been through this already months ago, a month ago at least. So you have been through the point of going from like you're creating every single day and being involved in the stream every single day to I've got to work every single day, and now Thursday or one of my other days is the only day I have time to do creative stuff. And so I was wondering like whether you had sort of like how did you cope with it? What was it? What was your process?
Yeah, it's tricky, man. I mean, fortunately, for the first week or so, like first week and a half, everybody, like I was on pretty short shifts. So, I'd be doing 3 or 4, I guess 4 shifts a week, and they'd be 4 or 5 hours each.
Yeah.
So I did still have a lot of time, and I wasn't going straight back from sitting on my ass all day every day to running a pub.
Yeah.
So it was basically just a bit of a bummer. It's a bit deflating. It's like when the summer holidays end.
Yeah.
At school, and you go back and you're just like, oh, this like walking around and listening to shit. I don't want to be doing this at all. So I've just found out that my pub is being sold again.
Oh.
And so we've been effectively we're trying to keep standards up so that the staff don't just go, oh, well, fuck it. So I've been working damn hard. I worked both of my days off last week.
Wow.
Just to get shit done. And so yeah, I haven't made. Today is the first day that I've actually made music in a couple of weeks at this point. So you're asking how I dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is that I didn't. Unfortunately.
Oh well. Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be more of a sort of collaborative effort this time. It's not going to be a case of one person having an issue and the other person trying to help the other person with it. It's going to be let's talk through this. So there's been a few sort of suggestions that I've seen be made. Some of them are relevant, some of them won't work. So, for example, someone said, "Look, routine is your friend." Like, and I'm like, I work in a pub. There's no routine, I'm afraid. I am at the whim. I am at the whim of the alcoholic gods. Um, so there's no routine there. But prioritization was another thing that came up, and it was saying like, look, if you and I we've got a load of things on our plate. We've got work, we've got our relationships, we've got music, being creative. We have this show. Can we juggle all those? That's the first question we need to ask ourselves. And as a creative person, you need to essentially make a list of all the stuff that you do during, I don't know, 7 days, or if your calendar is more of a month long thing, how it fits within your month. And the first question you need to ask yourself is does it fit? Can I juggle? And you've got to be really honest with yourself about that, which, I'm sorry, I'm a human. I'm not very good at being honest with myself. Like that's one of the worst things that humans, like, because being honest with ourselves, if we were honest with ourselves, evolution wouldn't be a thing. Oh, sorry, no,
you're right.
Invention wouldn't be a thing. That's what I meant to say. Because if we were honest with ourselves we were never meant to fly, we'd have just been like, we were never meant to fly. Let's not invent the plane.
There's nothing over there that I need.
Yeah, exactly. This cave is absolutely fine. If I'm honest with myself, I'm surviving. I am alive. I am not dead. It's fine the way it is. So
hey, do you want to maybe cook that meat? Oh, it's already warm. I got everything I need, man.
So us as humans being honest with ourselves, so difficult. But then it's almost like a floodgate, because when you finally get to a point where you can be honest with yourself, it's really hard to stop. You're like you either lie to yourself forever and you're like, I'm the best thing in the world, this is amazing, and then when you eventually get to be honest with yourself, you're like, oh, I'm not that great. So you end up like,
well,
it's difficult because someone says, oh, you did a really good job there, and I'm like, well, I'd give myself a 5 out of 10 if I had to judge myself.
But the most strange thing is holding in your head simultaneously the idea that you are the stupidest piece of shit in the world and that everybody around you is a fucking idiot. To hold those two beliefs simultaneously. It's like, I hate everyone, they're so stupid, but I hate myself because I'm so stupid.
Oh, if anything, this is like it's almost there's a reason why creative people are often quite miserable, and it's because the creative process is a misery-inducing thing to be part of.
Well, you know what? I was actually watching a video the other day about somebody talking about creativity and depression.
Okay.
So they were referencing a tweet that somebody had tweeted. Oh, basically every mental health professional I've been to says, "Oh, you seem to have quite a high level of self-awareness." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think that might be part of the problem." I think he was like a psychologist on a gamer's stream or something.
Right. Okay.
And he went, "Yeah, this is true. So, like, as human beings, we are able to think about the things that we're doing. You know, if a deer goes around to 10 places and doesn't find food, it doesn't start thinking, I'm stupid because I can't find food." And you find that people with high self-awareness, people with high creativity, are constantly thinking about the way that they're thinking and thinking about the things that they're doing and the way that they're doing them, and effectively exposing themselves to more opportunities to put themselves down.
Okay.
And so drugs like ketamine, which are, I can't remember the name of the term that's used for the sort of higher, the sort of metacognition, the term that this guy used for it. But I guess metacognition will do.
That will do.
But
yeah.
what ketamine does is restrict is effectively break down your ability to think about your thoughts. And so you get, when it comes to things like that, you get improvements in symptoms of depression within hours, just because your ability to think critically about yourself has just been destroyed for a little bit, basically.
Wow, that's
And so it's
crazy.
like we were talking about, how creative people are, I think, are very much in touch with like their thoughts in a lot of cases, because you have to, in order to create, you have to be sort of fusing ideas together in your head.
I think
And I
if
think there's probably not a coincidence.
no, to be honest, that sounds like a dangerous combination for me because I'm the sort of person that has dumb initial thoughts, and then my sort of criticalness stops me from acting on them. So I'm like, don't get me wrong, there'd be some things that I would absolutely do more of, in a positive way if I had that sort of interaction with my own brain, but I would also be like, oh my god, I could eat 12 sandwiches right now. Gotta do it. Like, I wouldn't be able to be like, if you hold on, mate, you're already pretty overweight. If you eat 12 sandwiches, you're going to become more overweight, and then you're going to hate yourself more. But that won't happen. It'll just be like, I want to eat 12 sandwiches. Let's go do it. It's so dangerous. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I just, that's great. So okay, so I guess being critical of your, like, being honest with yourself about how much you can handle is a really important part of this.
Mm.
But also, like, there's priorities and there's stuff that isn't important but is important to you. Um so I think I'll tell you what, there is something that really, really, really helped me when I was sort of reminiscing about my time of having ultimate creativity.
Right.
Um, and it was friend of the show, DS Composing, and I were having a chat, and we were talking about a lot of stuff, and one of the things we were talking about was how lockdown pandemic had affected us. And one of the things that I said, for some reason I suddenly got incredibly positive, and I thought about my lockdown way in an only positive way. And the way I thought about it was, I just had a year where I could do all the things that I've been wanting to do for ages and do it without fear of losing my job for doing them.
Mm.
Like, how crazy is that we've just had that? Like,
Yeah.
and I guess what? And some of these things that I've did, I failed at. Like, I tried to be a Twitch streamer, like a professional everyday Twitch streamer. Didn't go well. But you know what? I was able to stream every single day for a few hours, develop my craft, develop my stream, and I didn't I didn't have to quit my job to do it.
Mm.
I ended up writing an entire album in a fraction of the time that it would normally take me to write an album. Like, and I didn't have to quit my job to do it. I'm still supported. I still have my house. And
Mm.
let's talk about even more positive thing. I've launched actually quite a successful podcast, and it might be the beginning of a media company right now. And that's the only reason that I say that it has to be, that it might be the beginning of a media company, is because when I was registering our podcast for Spotify distribution, it looked
Mm.
really weird to say it was by Lawrence Hobbs. So I was like, well,
Right.
that seems a bit odd. So it's now by Odd Hobbs Media. So now Odd Hobbs Media is a company, by the way.
Wicked. Not
So
going on my CV.
yeah, go for it, man. Put it at voluntary position.
Co-host Odd
Voluntary
Hobbs
position.
Media.
Absolutely. So I don't know if anybody, like, I apologize. Cheers, boys. Cheers, boys. Jolie in the chat says absolutely, absolutely.
Cheers.
Um, so yeah, I mean, some people have been working during the pandemic, and I don't want to, like, piss all over the fact that you have had to work, because it is a different experience. If anything, you can be almost thankful of the fact that your routine could be uninterrupted, and you could continue to develop your routine and be part of, and have your life sort of have the minimal amount of interruption. Um, so I think what I need to do. I'm trying to think the process through as we're talking through this, because seeing as we're both going through the same thing, and I think it might be a case of where you can have routine, give yourself routine. If you are if you're in a position where you can give yourself routine will help. And have part of that routine every day be being creative. And if you don't change your routine on a daily basis, you will be able to fit in more from your day. And the less choices you have to make throughout your routine, the better. So a really easy one is what you have for breakfast. Have the same thing for breakfast every day. And that just makes it easier. For those of us who can't have a daily routine, prioritization is the key. It's a case of being able to be honest with yourself, what you can do, what you can't do, and honestly dropping the stuff that either you can't fit in or isn't directly beneficial to your end goal. And if your end goal doesn't fit, then maybe you need to rethink your end goal. I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't mean to say that your end goal is incorrect. I'm just saying that maybe it needs a bit of tweaking. So, seeing as I've just said a load of stuff, so I said a load of stuff that could
That's what we're here for, man.
Yeah, that could be helpful, could also not be helpful. If you were on the receiving end of that advice, would you find that helpful? Be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that I know that prioritization would be beneficial for me. And I know that at some point I should sit down, plan shit out, like figure out on my days off, like I'm going to get up at such a time and make sure that I'm clocking in to make music at such a time. And I tried to do it today as well. Like I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, the idea was, I'll be up and I'll be dressed and I'll start making music at 9. Yeah, I'll start making the music now. I just need to fiddle about for fucking ages, like just straight into procrastination.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I know that I need to figure out and prioritize my stuff and sort of cut out extraneous stuff. But tis easier said, right?
Yeah. I mean, procrastination.
But at the same
even
time,
if you got
even while I'm sorry,
I was just gonna say, but procrastination is the sort of anti-routine, isn't it? It's putting stuff into your routine that doesn't need to be there, which stops you from achieving the next part of your routine.
Yeah. Which, yeah, again, I think it is again down to the fear of actually getting the shit done.
Well,
which is so stupid.
Here's another thing. If you find yourself procrastinating, if you find yourself doing something instead of doing the thing that you feel you're meant to do, assign some time to do the thing that you're using to procrastinate. So let's say for me, a really big one is playing video games. Instead of sometimes being creative and making music, I will play video games. So what do? I assign some time in the day so that I do play video games. So then I don't have that as an excuse to procrastinate because I've already done that thing.
Sure.
So maybe that would help there. I don't know if it does or not.
Yeah. Well, the thing, like with getting my shit together, I feel like it's something that I either need to have already figured out by now, or something that is just going to take me a really long time to get, which is frustrating. But yeah, it's the point where, yeah, in theory, it is so easy just to get up when your alarm goes off and have a shower and then spend the whole day making music. In theory, those are easy decisions to make, but it's not the same.
No, and this is where routine has kind of helped me a little bit, because so my at work, my day starts at a different time each day. But I'll tell you when my day doesn't ever start. It doesn't ever start earlier than 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. So what I do is I make sure that my morning routine always starts before 7. Because then if I start at a different time every day, then I have different things to fit in every day. So I know that on a Tuesday and a Thursday and a Saturday, my routine is going to start at 7. So on Monday, Wednesday, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, my routine should still start at 7. My getting up should start before 7. My shower should happen before 7. And it seems like you're it's getting up too early, and maybe you need that sleep. But that getting up at the same time every single day will be mentally helpful. It will have a profound, not profound actually, but a positive psychological effect, I reckon. I'm not a doctor. I need to do a statement of.
This is not medical advice.
Yeah, don't take my advice. I'm an idiot. Everything I say is stupid comedy. That sort of thing.
Any relations to any actual persons, living or dead, is entirely coincidental.
Any relation to any person living or dead is entirely really weird. How'd that happen?
Dude, right.
Dr. Hobbs. That's what they call me. That's what they call me on the decks. Right. Okay. So should we end things out with a wheel of conversation?
Just spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
Okay. Spin the wheel of conversation. What is it going to land on? Spin the wheel of conversation. Behold the power of random.
The power of random.
Okay. Braveface Co says Dr. Hobbs, Medicine Woman. That's an excellent name, and I will live with it. Let's take that. And the Wheel of Conversation topic for this afternoon is: what is the worst band name? What is the worst band name? Now I'm going to keep this on the wheel because this might change over time.
The worst name of band.
We'll go with a band that exists. I have an answer. And I know there's a few that you could answer for this, but there's one that really sort of sticks with me for this question.
Okay. What have you got?
My worst band name is the Pigeon Detectives.
The Pigeon Detectives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I found out that there are some which are worse in terms of how they function as band names. So the Pigeon Detective is just a badly constructed set of words that doesn't mean anything, really.
Yeah. Written
Momney is one of my. I hate the trend at the moment. So in the chat, Braveface Co has said, "Is it Rip Momney?" And that's because I have this horrible sort of hatred of the trend at the moment of taking a famous person's name and portmanteauing it and making that your band name.
I mean, spoonerizing it.
Spoonerizing it, sorry. Yep. So, Rip Momney, San Holo, I can't remember any of the others. But there's also a band name that just doesn't function well as a band name because it's very difficult to find them. And if I'm going to tell you what the band name is, and I want you to tell me how it's spelled.
Okay.
Okay? It's Chuck.
T?
Nope.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm all out of ideas.
Okay, I'm going to give you a clue. I'm going to also try and get my my camera to focus. Say what? Chuck. I'm going to give you a clue. The clue is Terry Pratchett. I'm going to try and get my camera to focus as well.
The clue is
Terry Pratchett. There is a Terry Pratchett moment that you and I share. that is a very big clue on how to spell this this band name.
A moment that you and I share.
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
A Terry Pratchett moment.
Yeah, I'm just turning my camera off for a second just so that I can get it to reset for anyone who's watching the YouTube version. Didn't work.
I don't know, man.
It's the moment where someone turns a corner and bumps into somebody, and they say, and how is that spelled?
Oh, exclamation mark.
Yeah. So
Really?
this band is spelled exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And then it's pronounced to-chuck. That's a pretty bad band name. It's very inventive.
Yeah,
but I'm going to go with Pigeon Detectives. I think that's my least favorite
Okay.
band name.
well, I'm just trying to think now. I'm sure there are some awful ones.
Mm.
Oh man. I don't know. To be honest with you, I think Edward Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros is a bit of a
Because who is Edward Sharp? They're not. None of them are called Edward Sharp.
No. That makes
Yep.
You'd figure that none of them were actually called Edward Sharp.
Yep. That's, you know what, we'll take that. And I'll tell you what, next time that this question comes up, maybe our opinions will have changed.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, it's about time to end the show. So if you're watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere, because we've got the post show come out where we have a lot more to talk about. It's a lot more interactive in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, then follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/oddhobs. That's twitch.tv/ODDHOBBS. Had to think about that one. So that you can get involved. And if you're listening on your various to the podcast episode, you can basically join us on Twitch, or you can even watch a video version of the episode on our YouTube. Just search for Why Can't I Do Music Good. Theo, do you want to plug yourself?
I'll plug myself. I am Theo Dehaney. You can find me on Instagram at Theo Dehaney Music. I have a YouTube channel which is Theo Dehaney. That's how it's spelled up there.
And my name is Lawrence Hobbs. You can find me on Instagram at lhobbsmusic. You can find me on YouTube if you search for Lawrence Hobbs, or you can find the show Why Can't I Do Music Good. If you would like to hear some of my music, I am on Spotify. If you search for Lawrence Hobbs, I have an album called Leave Me for Worms, Don't Leave Me for Dead. I've re-listened to it recently. It's not a bad album, actually. It's not a bad album. I would listen to the last track first. I'd listen to Jalapeno first. That's a great track. So for everyone on Twitch, we'll see you on the post show. For everyone else, we'll see you next week. Without further ado, goodbye.
1, 2, 3, 4.